What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another lovely Wednesday. Now, before I start today's video, I do want to say real quick, just a huge shout out to you guys. If you guys don't know it, we've reached 1,000, and that was as of April 7th. So we're definitely ahead of 1,000 right now. I think we're at like 1.1K. Finally got that K in there. But I just want to say thank you guys. It's crazy. It's a very small milestone, so it might not mean much to you guys, but at least for me, it's huge. And just seeing that progress, seeing that number, seeing the consistency, it just means a lot, and it just shows how much of like you guys supporting me and giving me just that influence. It's very contagious. So I definitely can't stop the grind. I definitely want to go ahead and make content for you guys, and it's not going to stop from here. So I just want to say thank you guys. Huge shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for the support. I do want to do a giveaway here at some point. Sorry for all the wind, but I do want to do a giveaway here at some point, and I'll go ahead and post a separate video for that. But at least for now, I just want to say thank you guys. It is huge. We've hit it, and I can't believe it. Now, leading in today's video, as you guys can tell from the title, it's kind of been a long time coming, but it is time for me to show you guys LEDs from DDM, how to install them, the difference before and after, and just how to get it done. Because I know that there's been a lot of comments out there just asking me to make this video and show you guys, and I know there's other content out there that shows this too, but I know that you guys would like to see it from me, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to do it. I've already replaced all the bulbs except for these these fog lights with all the old OEM replacements, but I'll swap those out, show you guys how to do it, and yeah, we'll get this whole video started. Also, just to answer some comments out there, I know that I saw in the last video about the side skirts and where they have been. I ended up selling them to another friend of mine because the material on the downforce solutions versus on this is just much different. Plus, Eibach Meet is going to make me a custom side skirt. So kind of leading into that, this weekend, going back to Eibach, this block that you guys all hate, don't worry, it's not going to be here. This was supposed to be replaced in the beginning. Since this whole entire job took 12 hours, I know it looks weird and there's going to be a lot of controversy and a lot of hate. I already saw that from the last video. In the end, it's my car. I really don't care, but I'm happy for it. But this is going to replace and look a lot better than how it does now. So hopefully when this entire thing is done, you guys will see a little bit of my vision. In the end, if there's some people who just don't like it, hey, that's your problem, not mine. So expect a video on that next week. On top of that, guys, just kind of like throwing out there too, just future videos to see. One of my buddies, he got an Elantra Sport. I know from the 9th gen versus 10th gen video, there were some comments about seeing an SI versus an Elantra Sport. Him and I have already raced. I'm not going to go ahead and spoil what the outcome was. Some can guess already, or some may already know. But I will go ahead and tell you that I will go ahead and post a video of that to show you guys the difference between an SI and an Elantra Sport, because I know that it's supposed to be the SI's competitor. Okay, I've kind of talked too much. I just want to go ahead and give you guys some updates on what's going on. But let's go ahead and dive into today's video and show you guys how to install these headlights. All right, so first things first, obviously, popping up your hood. Let's go ahead and get this engine bay open here. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the DDM Tuning Headlights that you do purchase. I try to put them back in organization here. But here are the headlights. So I believe this is called a ballast that it comes with. And so this is kind of like the power source here, and then also, you know, you plug it back into the OEM connector. But these are them. They do have a gasket right there around, and you guys can see how it reflects. So there's a bolt, there's a LED light here, and then the way you put it in should all match. But these are them, and they're very well built. They have a fan for them, and then I mean, they just felt very sturdy. So obviously they're a lot longer than your OEM ones when I take them out and show you guys. But what I do is I just go ahead and get, obviously, your trusty zip ties and zip tie this all around. But let's go ahead and put these in. We're gonna go ahead and take out the old ones, and let me go ahead and show you guys that as well. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys kind of from my perspective, so that way when you get to your car and approach it, you know how to kind of direct to it, because I know a lot of videos kind of get already up and close and personal. So when you're walking to your car, starting on the left hand side, at least facing the car, you're gonna see this bar right here. It all fits from back here. The bulbs are gonna be right back here, and it's a lot easier than you think to get to. So let me go ahead and show you guys. So right back here, let me go and flash my light. That is your low beam housing right there. So you can use this as a marker too to kind of gauge it, but it's right there. It's very easy to get to. You don't have to take off your headlight or anything. If you did want to do your high beams, and I haven't done them yet, it's actually really easy. If you can already tell right here, that's your high beams. So these are your low beams, these are your high beams. And look, there's the headlight. It's really close to get to. You don't have to remove anything to get to it. But here are the bulbs right there. So they're a lot closer and easier to get to than a lot of people think. But we're gonna go ahead and start off with the low beam here. I haven't changed out my high beams, and I don't plan on to, because they are actually a different bulb. These are H11s, same thing as your fogs. They're both H11s. I don't remember what these are. I think they're like 9 something. I honestly don't remember. But let's go ahead and remove this stock OEM bulb here and show you guys how easy it is to take it off. So let's move this flashlight in a position you guys can see. Okay, so to start off, you're gonna go ahead and get your hand in there. And there's a little button right here, and I can show it to you once I fully pull it out. But you're gonna press it with your finger and then push on the top of this thing right here, if you can see that pretty well, and push down on it with your thumb. Once you do that, you've already kind of moved it down and taken off the plug. So this is what I did. Just to show you guys, I pressed down with my index finger and then had my thumb onto the rim right here. Let me try and focus on that. So it was on the rim right here, my thumb was there, and then you would just press with your index finger onto this right here. Once you push down on that, just push down with your thumb to move it basically down, and then it will unplug. You can go and leave that anywhere, just like right there is fine. And now to take off this. Now this is very simple. You just twist it. So you're gonna twist going that way. So watch, I'm gonna turn, twist. Now it's sideways, or at least at an angle, not really fully sideways. You're just gonna pull it out. And that is it. So it's very simple. That's where it was plugged into. And it's a lot easier than people think. So we'll put that there. And I'll kind of show you how this was in. As you guys can see, it has this huge, like kind of like a rectangle shape at the top, and then 2 small ones on the side. So when you're going in, you have to actually match what's in there. You can kind of see it at this angle. Let me go ahead and zoom in. So if you guys can see that, you're just trying to match that shape when you try to lock it in. So you get it in there, then you twist to lock it. So obviously as we unlocked it, it was in there like this, so it was locked. We turned like that, and then it finally matched those, and then we were able to pull out. So it's very simple. Let's go ahead and get in the DDM tuning ones that we have here. Here we go. Now just to give you guys a comparison, check that out. Look how big that mamba is to the OEM. So this is halogen bulb, this is LED bulb. Huge difference, obviously, just from the size. And then I'll give you guys a difference in the lighting as well. Now keep in mind, these are 10,000 lumens. If you don't know what lumens are, that's just the brightness level of your LED. I believe 10,000 is best. If you want to go average, at least 7,000 to 8,000 is the minimum, I would say. Don't go any below that, otherwise you're not going to see. 10,000 is the best that you can go. At least that's the highest I would recommend. So we're gonna go ahead and put this in. Now you can see here, they kind of have the same rectangle shape at the top, and then the 2 on the sides. So obviously we want to match that when we're putting it into the same housing. So start off, switch hands here. And I'm sorry, I'm doing this one man here, so I'm gonna go ahead and let's see here. Since this is a lot bigger, it's really hard for me to do this while holding the camera, but I'm going to attempt. So I'm getting it in there, if you guys can see, and then I just gotta match it with the shape that's already there. Boom. And then you can see a little bit of the gasket ring. And all you have to do is just turn, just like so, and now it's straight. and now it is good and solid. And then for this, when you're connecting the connector from to the stock connector here, you want to make sure that here, let me put the camera down so I can show you guys perfectly here. Okay, so when you're using the connector here and then the stock connector, when you put them in, there's a way to figure out. So this has a plus and minus here. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, and it doesn't really give you much of a gauge, and you kind of have each side, but the plus and minus is supposed to be facing outward when you put it in. So when you put it in, see, it locks, so you just kind of pull to see if it would go apart. If it doesn't go apart or just move slightly, that's perfect. But I'm going to show you guys the opposite. If we turned it and put it in instead, you'll notice it doesn't click. Well, it would click at some point. Let me see. It's not clicking this time, but it would move back and forth, so it'd be very loose if it did click. Right now it's not clicking, but you can tell when you know it's in and out. The other thing too, if a good rule of thumb, is when you plug it in, test it by turning on your lights before putting in the headlight. Obviously it's not so hard to remove it, but that's just a good rule of thumb. I know this is going to be solid, so that's that, and then we'll go ahead and zip tie this to have it set. All right, so now that we've got that side done, I'm going to go ahead and zip tie that later. We're going to go ahead and show you guys this side real quick. I'm not going to go ahead and show you guys the full process, since it's just kind of the same thing that you would do there and just apply it to that side, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how easy it is to spot the bulb from this side, or from that side. So same thing, you're stepping back, this bar, and you can see the housing is right there. So it's a little bit closer than expected, that's for sure. So it's not like open like it is over there, but it is still pretty close, and you know, you can just hide the wire, at least I feel like a lot easier on this side. It's the same thing. You're gonna go ahead and press the button in, push down with your thumb, get that out, and then your high beam is gonna be right there if you do want to replace that. So it's the same thing vice versa, what you want to do from that side. That over there. So we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna do this off camera and replace this, but before I do, let me go ahead and show you guys what the halogen looks like and the LED before and after. All right, so you guys right here, this is the halogen. As you guys can see, this is the stock OEM bulb and your daytime running light. They don't really match very well, so you got this kind of yellowish orange type of bulb here that you get from Honda when you first buy the car, and then this white LED that they just decided to go ahead and throw in there, but they just don't complement each other very well. This is the difference. You can see how bright the OEM bulb is compared, so you can kind of see on the glass here kind of what it reflects. It's not much of a reflection, so obviously halogens aren't too bright. Now remember, your car, this is a low beam, so if you're worried about blinding people, your car is very low to the ground stock wise. You're not going to blind people if you get an LED. But I just want to go ahead and show you guys a comparison there of how that looks, and then we'll go ahead and flip it over to the LED side. Now here's the LED side. It's a lot brighter, and it definitely matches much better. Maybe within the camera lighting it just kind of looks like that's a lot more white than this, but in person it does, it matches perfectly. They're both completely white. I know this isn't in a halogen housing, so it's not an LED housing, so it's going to be a tad bit different, but they're equally the same, and it's equally bright when you're driving. You can see the reflection on the glass here, so it kind of shows you how bright it is compared to the halogen. And on top of that, oh, there goes a little fly. On top of that, I just want to say too, I know this is in the daytime, but you can already tell how much brighter it is, at least during the sun out. At night, you're definitely going to get a big difference, and I'll get a shot at night of how far it kind of reaches. But I won't get a before and after, at least for people who are kind of wondering with the halogens. So if you want to see your halogen, just go ahead and look at your own halogen, and then you can compare it to these LEDs. But you can see that they match a lot better, much brighter, and it works better. Look at the reflection or the light on my hand. You can definitely see that. I would say that's a gauge, and I'm already this far. So as an end result, real quick, I just zip tied here and here, and then over here did the same thing, zip tied here, and then one back there. Got the DDM logos kind of showing a little bit, and lights are good and in. Just to make sure that they all work, obviously, just turn on your lights. I think I already have mine on. Nope, there we go. And voila. Now they look beautiful. And so now we can go ahead and close that. And I have my jack here. I'm gonna have to tell you that you're gonna need at least 2 flatheads, and then your sockets and wrenches and everything in order to get the fog light. This one you're gonna have to go under the car. I'm using the jack. You don't really need a jack, but I'm just using it for the purposes of to get under the car a lot easier and show you guys. So let's go ahead and jack up the car and then show you how to do the fogs, and just how easy it is. Now that we got the car jacked up, giving you that little bit of way room, we're gonna go ahead and go right under, just going under this fog right here. And so you guys can see, here's the front splitter, but if you guys can see right under here, there it is. These are the things you're gonna need to get out. So let me go ahead and change my position here so you guys can see. But we're gonna have to go ahead and remove this tab. There we go. This tab, and this third one right up here. So these 3 tabs, these 3 screws, and then there's a screw kind of back here, if you guys can see. This one needs to come out as well. I'm sorry, not screw, bolts. So these 4 bolts need to come out. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And then the 3 tabs at the top, 1, 2, and 3. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, so for the flatheads, you would actually use them to go ahead and pry these out. I have this tool, this trim tool that I got from DDM Tuning. It came with actually a bunch of them. I'm gonna go ahead and try and use this here. I believe though that it just makes life a little bit easier. You can get it in and then boom, there we go. That's 1. There we go. 2. So after getting these 2 out, realize you do not need to get this one out. So hope you didn't go a step ahead and try and take this out. You do not need this one out whatsoever. X that out. We're gonna go ahead and get the sockets now to take these out, and then get this one back here. So let's go ahead and show you guys that. Okay, so you're gonna notice this is very flimsy now, but it is not enough. So we're gonna go ahead and get, actually it's an 11mm socket, and let's go ahead and get these guys out of the way. Oh, apologies, there we go. So we're going to loosen that out. Just take that out like so. Boom, done. Then you'll get this flab here that you gotta go ahead and remove. Yay. Now this just makes it a lot easier to get to some sections. You can use the same 11mm too to go ahead and get that bulb right down back here. Let me go ahead and zoom into that too to show you guys. So it's right there. And voila, it is out. Now this whole unit is loose, and what you can do, and do not be afraid, I was afraid too, you can bend it just like so out. It's a lot looser than you think, and so now it is bent outward. So I want to demonstrate this for you guys, but while we have this gap, you're going to go ahead and put your hand in and then look at your fog light. You're going to feel for it, and then it's going to be the same thing. You turn it so you can see it turn, and you pull it out. Boom. So I already have the DDM one in there. This is the yellow fog. This is what it looks like. It's basically the same. It comes with a ballast too. You can't really see it. Or no, this one doesn't actually come with a ballast. My apologies. But it does. It is really high quality too. And this is just the fog. This is the yellow fog. So you have the LED on the side again, just like slow. So these actually are 7,000 lumens. I don't think you need any higher than 7,000 at least for your fog. So, oh no, these are 5,000. I apologize. These are 5,000. So when you're taking out the stock ones, though, it's the same thing as the stock ones on your headlights. You're gonna have to press, pull down, and then take it out to turn. And then let's feel for that again. There's the plug right there, if you guys can see that. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug those back in, but I just wanted to demonstrate for you guys how to basically open it out and then get your fog in there. Now you can see it's kind of an open hole. Now, just gonna go ahead and show you guys how to put it all back together if you guys are curious, but don't be afraid to bend it, okay? It is plastic, so it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna go ahead and bend it in. You just gotta make sure when you're bending it in, everything goes in like so correctly, and then you can feel right here through this hole to make sure these two holes match. Push it in, make sure, even just back here, there is a lock that needs to go, and I can tell that this lock is moved. I'm gonna go put it back. You guys can see that lock. That actually goes to the screw that was back here, so you gotta make sure that matches as well. And then, boom, that's good. Put that back in. Boom, boom. Again, don't be afraid, guys. It's all gonna be okay. Okay, so now we got this on top. We're gonna start off with the bolt that we had in the back, and we gotta make sure it connects as I showed you guys earlier with the metal plates, kind of like this, but it's on this plastic in the inside. So you can kind of hold it around here or even up here, and just make sure it goes through. Actually, down here is perfect, and you're gonna have to wiggle it down and just make sure it goes through. If not, you can actually move this down and make sure that it's centered. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that through real quick. So I apologize, guys. I had to go off camera to go ahead and get this bolt in. I had to get much closer to get it in, but it's now fully locked in. Next step is doing the tabs here. We're gonna go ahead and put these two in, and when doing so, you have to hold onto this plastic so that you hold it down to match the holes, because obviously there's a hole here and then there's a hole on the plastic, this plastic, that you have to go ahead and hold down with your finger to match, and then just make sure you get this back piece through both before you press this button in. So we'll go ahead and start off with this one here, and let's see, should be able to get through both. You just kind of get it in like so. Put it in like so first, and then go ahead and match it with the one back there. You just want to go ahead and there we go, get it through the plastic, and then when you feel like it's through both, go ahead and press on the button. Let's see, there we go. Press on the button, and there, it should lock in. So now this is a lot more held down. This is locked in. You're set. Same thing with this one. We'll do the same thing vice versa. Hold it down. Make sure it's through both. Should go through. There we go. And press, and boom, locked in. Now this doesn't move up anymore because it's locked in there. We're gonna go ahead and grab this guy back. You guys remember this? And just match it with so. So they're all good. Everything's back in, and practically easy peasy. And that's how you do your fog light. So guys, you guys are gonna go ahead and apply the same steps that I did here on this fog light to that side. I know I didn't show you guys with the stock bulb, but I mean, it's, you know, obviously you guys kind of already know, and it's really hard to show you guys inside since you kind of have to go inside. I know there's a way to go ahead and take this off, I believe, but I believe that that is a lot more difficult than actually just going under the car. So that is the best way to go ahead and get your fog out and replace it with the LED. I know it's a lot harder than the headlight, how we did that, but it is possible. It is a lot easier than you think when you do it. Definitely is going to take some time, but just again, like I said, vice versa on that side. Let's go ahead and drop the car now and call it a day. And so here are the finishing results, guys. You guys will have daytime running lights and low beams matching, and then for me at least I went with the yellow fogs. It's all preference, but yeah guys, much better than those halogens, that's for sure. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This has been a frequently asked thing from me, and I finally got to it, so I hope that it helped a lot of you guys in wondering how you're supposed to install the headlights and fog lights for your Civic Si. If you guys do want to go ahead and pick these up from DDM Tuning, I'll go ahead and put it in the description below. These are size H11, these are size H11, HA-H11, I believe they're the same thing. But H11 is the way to go. That's the only size that's going to fit. These are 10,000 lumens. If you don't know what lumens are, that's the brightness level. Please run a maximum of 10,000, a minimum of like 7,500, just because that's the best brightness you're going to get. For fogs, at least a maximum of 5,000. Anything below that is totally fine. Don't run any higher than 5,000 for fogs because you will blind people. Since these are low beams, these face low, they don't blind anybody. These actually will. So these are the products. If you guys want to go ahead and get them, like I said, description below. On top of that, just to go ahead and give you guys an update. I think I already said this in the beginning of the video, but I am meeting up with Eibach Meet this weekend, and we're gonna go ahead and fix up the front splitter because those side blocks, like I said, aren't supposed to be there. It took us 12 hours to do the job, or at least him 12 hours to do the job, and we just kind of threw on the side blocks and then just kind of cut it up a little bit, but that's not supposed to be there. It's definitely going to be cut down quite a bit, and then the side skirts are also going to be added, so it's going to kind of flow better with the car. I know in my previous video there is a lot of controversy, a lot of hate, but hey, haters gonna hate and lovers gonna love. I'm all good for whichever. I'm happy with the car. It's my car, it's my build. I'm the one paying the bills, so in the end I'm just happy to drive it. But you guys will go ahead and be updated with that next week and kind of see how the car looks then. The next step is definitely to lower the car next before I get the K-tuner, just because there's a car event coming up that I probably am going to go to. If you don't know about it, I'll go ahead and pop it up. Eibach. It is a huge car event, Honda car event that's happening, and it's local here in Southern California. So if you're able to make it there, you can also see me there and just hang out. I mean, I'm just glad to see a bunch of Hondas and hang out and at least show my car a little bit. I know nothing's fully done to it just yet, but at least aesthetic wise I can still bring it over. So just for this whole build, I just want to say thank you guys for supporting me and watching. I will see you guys next week, and yeah, as always, you know guys, yeah, that. Thank you guys very much, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday.